events in the history of the world, one important event took place in the month of December 1991, and here we are referring to the disintegration of Soviet Union, which took place in the month of December 1991. Soviet Union was also known as USSR, that is Union of Soviet Socialist Republics of Russia. It was a very big country, and it was a Eurasian country, that is some part of USSR or Soviet Union. It came in Europe, and most of the territory of this country came into Asia. So as this country was spread over both in Europe as well as in Asia, it was called as Eurasian country. As far as Soviet Union was concerned, it came to be known as Soviet Union or USSR after the Bolshevik Revolution or Communist Revolution, which took place in this country in the month of October 1917. Before that particular revolution, this country was known as Russia, and it was ruled by the Tsars. Tsar means the emperor or the king. The last Tsar of Russia was Nicholas II. He belonged to the Romanov dynasty. Against his rule, there was a revolution in the month of February 1917, and a new interim government was formed in Russia. That interim government was overthrown in the month of October 1917 by the communists or the Bolsheviks who were inspired by the leadership of Lenin. After the death of Lenin, Stalin came to power, and Stalin, in order to protect the communist form of government in Soviet Union, he started implementing 5-year plans, and he started developing the country. He gave emphasis on developing the heavy industries in Soviet Union, and he also introduced the model of 5-year plans. And under this particular model of 5-year plans, the systematic economic and industrial development of Soviet Union was planned, and accordingly very soon this particular country started emerging as one of the major players or powerful countries in Europe. In 1939, Soviet Union signed a non-aggression pact with Hitler of Germany, and according to this pact, it was decided that Soviet Union and Germany will not attack each other. But this particular pact was broken by Hitler of Germany in 1941 when he invaded Soviet Union or USSR. Thus, Soviet Union, after the German invasion, got involved in the Second World War. And as we know, Second World War came to an end in 1945. In this particular war, the Allied countries, which included England, France, United States of America and Soviet Union, they emerged victorious, and they defeated the Axis powers, which included Germany, Italy and Japan. During the Second World War period, Soviet Union enjoyed good relations with the Western democracies like England, France and America. But after the Second World War, again the differences between the Soviet Union and Western democracies, that is America, England, France, etc., they came to the fore, and again the relations between the Soviet Union and the Western democracies, that is Western European countries and America, started deteriorating, and due to that a new phenomena came into existence, which is called as the Cold War. During this Cold War, Soviet Union tried to spread communism in different parts of the world, including the Eastern European countries, and America and her friends like England and France decided to stop these efforts of Soviet Union to spread the communism in the world. Now there was a battle between the democracy and the communist form of government, and as we have seen, America, England, France and their friends, they believed in democratic form of government and sort of liberal and capitalist kind of economy, a laissez-faire economy, and Soviet Union believed in communist form of government and the government control over the economic sector of the country. So in this way, a Cold War started. Russia or Soviet Union tried to spread communism in maximum part of the world, and America decided to stop Soviet Union from doing so. After Stalin, Khrushchev became the ruler of Soviet Union. After Khrushchev, it was Brezhnev, and the last important ruler of Soviet Union was Mikhail Gorbachev. During the time of Khrushchev also, Soviet Union had a great rivalry with the United States of America, and Khrushchev was very vocal about his criticism of the Western democracies, that is England, France, and particularly America. Brezhnev also tried to implement the communist policies which were laid down by Stalin, and it was Gorbachev who came to power in the around 1980s, mid 1980s. He decided to bring certain changes in the communist structure of the Soviet Union. Accordingly, he introduced two important policies in Soviet Union. These two policies were Glasnost and Perestroika. Glasnost gave emphasis on giving political freedom to the people of Soviet Union, at least on certain extent. The political and freedom was denied to the people of Soviet Union or USSR by the earlier rulers like Brezhnev, Khrushchev, Stalin, etc. But now Gorbachev thought that with the changing times, Soviet Union should change, and on certain extent at least the people should be allowed to give their opinions, their comments on the government policies, government decisions, functioning of the government, etc. But this particular glasnost and this particular freedom resulted into the increased amount of criticism on the various policies implemented by the communist government of Soviet Union. And Perestroika aimed at bringing some changes in the economy of the Soviet Union, structural changes we can say. Accordingly, little bit economic freedom or freedom for the private entrepreneurship was given to the people of Soviet Union. And when these two policies were introduced, Gorbachev had thought that people would be satisfied with that, but the demand of the people started increasing day by day. Now they wanted more political freedom, they wanted more economic freedom also, and accordingly the chaotic situation started developing in Soviet Union. And on the background of this, around 1989-90, the two Germanys, okay, which were the symbol of the Cold War, okay, this was the direct effect of the Cold War, which had started after Second World War, as we have mentioned earlier. The Germany was divided into East Germany and West Germany. East Germany was a communist country under the influence of Soviet Union, and West Germany remained democratic country under the influence of America, England, and France. So this Germany was united once again, and the communist rule in Germany collapsed. Again, united Germany became a democratic country. We can say that this was the beginning of the disintegration of Soviet Union. The things moved very fast in Soviet Union. Different political leaders, they came on the horizon of the politics of Soviet Union. And the most important among them was Boris Yeltsin. He was a very powerful communist leader, and he was quite popular in Moscow city, which is the capital of today's Russia and the capital of yesteryear Soviet Union or USSR. And in this way, there was lots of chaos, a sort of anarchic situation existing in Soviet Union. And at last, okay, due to the increased amount of political pressure, okay, Gorbachev had to give in, okay, to the demand of the various regional people, various provinces, and accordingly Soviet Union at last, as we have mentioned in the beginning itself, around December 1991 got disintegrated, and various provinces which have become independent countries today, such as Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Belarus, Ukraine, Azerbaijan, Georgia, Armenia, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, they disintegrated from the Soviet Union, and they became independent and free countries. And Soviet Union, this particular country, became history in the year 1991. And its last ruler was Mikhail Gorbachev. Mikhail Gorbachev, he was a lawyer by training. Okay, he had taken his legal education. He was a highly qualified person. He had introduced the reforms in Soviet Union with the good intentions of taking the Soviet Union to new heights, okay, and to prepare it to face the challenges of the 21st century. But unfortunately, his policies of Glasnost and Perestroika and also other decisions boomeranged on him, and instead of Soviet Union becoming strong, it became history, and Soviet Union or USSR got disintegrated in the year 1991.